Marion here, and we're at a project in Howard County that we've worked on for many years. Behind me is this beautiful seeded wildflower meadow. It looks great this time of year because it's got the blue stem and the solidago, goldenrod, and some coreopsis and senna in here. Wonderful place for pollinators and birds of all types. And they've got beautiful trees here, specimen trees, and it just is a great environment for all kinds of wildlife. Every kind of butterfly you can imagine. Golden finches come in. It's just spectacular. The family would like to improve some of the gardens closer to the house, so we decided to do more of a planted wildflower meadow in the Dutch tradition, and where we use sort of a matrix of low grasses. Last May we planted a section or two, and we're here to plant another section or two, and we had great results with the first round, so that's what we're doing here. Okay, so we're standing in front of the gardens that we planted this May, and we're really excited about how well they've grown in. In this bed behind me, we have a grass in the front that's like the little matrix, and that's Sessilaria. And it gets about 18 inches high, and it spreads out, and it plays nice with other plants. And then we have Salvia caryatana and a yarrow, or Achillea, and they just bloom for really long periods of time. And then in the backdrop we have one of my favorite grasses is called Standing Ovation, and it's a little blue stem. What we have in here is a big border of purple lovegrass, which gets this beautiful purple bloom end of July and all through August. It's just this cloud of pink here. Now it's gone into its fall phase, which is this lovely blonde color. Lots of seed heads on here for birds and little critters. Behind it is this Calmintha nepida, which is like a sea of white clouds floating out there, and it's just covered with pollinators, bees, butterflies. And so this is kind of the matrix where we want to have some other interesting plants come up through. So in the background I've got that Standing Ovation little blues grass. And then I have pockets of phlox or an aster. And right here you can see where the aster has been chewed down by the bunnies. And that's why we have this owl here to kind of keep the bunnies at bay. In the backdrop we have, you can see the tallest plant there is Rhingium rattlesnake master, and it has these really interesting white globe flowers. And then at the far end we've got some pink, and that's the phlox that the deer have been eating. So we're again going to put some agasachi in there and give us a little height and something else with some interest. So this is Phlox gina, which is one of my favorite plants, and it usually gets about 4 feet tall and just is covered with butterflies, more than any butterfly bush. So, but the deer have gotten in here and chewed it down. So we're going to add some more plantings in here and keep this in here and just hope that it will come back bigger and better next year, and the deer will leave it alone. This is one of my favorites. It's Vernonin iron butterfly. It gets about 3 feet tall and has this really pretty pink flower on top. Also have the rattlesnake master up close here. Just walk over here. This is the rattlesnake master Eryngium, and it's just a really cool textural plant that can offset and give you different seasonal interest. The Indians used it as a cure for rattlesnake bites, supposedly. Just kind of fun to have something unusual and interesting in here. All right, so some of the plants we're planting in here today are goldenrod, solidago fireworks, and we're planting different groups throughout the bed, and that gets about 3 feet tall and just has this horizontal explosion of yellow flowers. It's very structural, and I think it'll look great in here. We also have some more grasses. There's a low spore bolus in here that gets about 18 inches high, and again, more of the columbine going through the bed there. We have some pink flowering liatris that Joe's planting over there now. In the middle, we're gonna have a big bed of geranium roseanne, which is kind of a bluish, a lilac blue. That'll just be a big sweep in the middle of the bed. And then we have some blue lobelia that's going to flower down there. Further, more cleome and more grasses. It's going to be great. So a fall planting, you basically really hope just to get a lot of root growth and to get them established for next year. So there's probably not going to be a ton. They will continue growing and put out their roots. But we're not going to get the kind of coverage we got from planting in May here. But we've got a nice heavy layer of pine bark, so they'll be protected through the winter, and their roots can just go crazy now and come up big and bold in the spring.